Bangladesh, India's eastern neighbor, stands at a critical juncture. The recent political turmoil, marked by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's resignation and the military's control, has sent ripples of concern across South Asia. This crisis holds significant geopolitical implications, particularly for India. The situation demands careful analysis to understand the potential ramifications for India's security and economy. India has long considered Bangladesh a vital partner in the region. The two countries share historical and cultural ties, and Bangladesh's stability is crucial for peace in South Asia. The current crisis threatens to unravel years of progress and cooperation. The international community urges a swift return to democratic rule. India faces the complex task of navigating this delicate situation. New Delhi must balance its commitment to democratic values with safeguarding its national interests. The unfolding situation in Bangladesh presents a significant challenge for India. It underscores the interconnectedness of the region and the importance of proactive diplomacy. How India responds will have far-reaching consequences for its security and South Asia's stability. The 4,096-kilometer border between India and Bangladesh is one of the most porous in the world. It has historically been a conduit for trade and cultural exchange, but also a source of security concerns for India. The current political crisis in Bangladesh could exacerbate existing vulnerabilities. One immediate concern is the potential for increased cross-border infiltration by armed groups. This poses a direct threat to Indian security, particularly in the northeastern states. Another concern is the potential for increased smuggling and trafficking of arms, drugs, and counterfeit currency. India has taken steps to strengthen border security, but the long and porous nature of the border makes it challenging to completely seal. The political crisis in Bangladesh has significant economic implications for India. The two countries share close economic ties, with Bangladesh being India's largest trading partner in South Asia. Bilateral trade has grown exponentially, reaching over $18 billion in 2023. The current uncertainty could disrupt this trade relationship. Businesses may adopt a wait-and-see approach, slowing cross-border trade. This could impact industries relying on seamless trade flows. India is a major investor in Bangladesh, with investments in energy, telecommunications, and infrastructure. Political instability could create an unfavorable investment climate, delaying projects. This would hurt Indian businesses and hinder Bangladesh's economic growth. The political crisis in Bangladesh presents a delicate diplomatic challenge for India. On the one hand, India has a vested interest in Bangladesh's stability and prosperity. It has long supported Bangladesh's development and considers it a key partner in its neighborhood first policy. On the other hand, India is also committed to democratic values and principles. The military's assumption of power in Bangladesh poses a dilemma for India, which has been a vocal advocate for democracy in the region. India must carefully calibrate its response to avoid being seen as interfering in Bangladesh's internal affairs. At the same time, it cannot remain a silent spectator to the erosion of democratic institutions in a neighboring country. One possible approach for India is to engage in quiet diplomacy, urging the military leadership to restore democratic processes and hold elections as soon as possible. India could also leverage its regional influence to build international pressure on Bangladesh to return to civilian rule. Section 5. The looming refugee crisis. The political crisis in Bangladesh also raises concerns about a potential refugee crisis. Bangladesh is already home to a large Rohingya refugee population from Myanmar. A further deterioration of the situation could lead to a new wave of refugees fleeing to neighboring countries, including India. India has a long history of providing refuge to people fleeing persecution and violence. However, it also has legitimate concerns about the economic, social, and security implications of hosting a large refugee population. The influx of a large number of refugees would strain India's already limited resources and could exacerbate social tensions. It could also provide an opportunity for extremist groups to exploit the situation and recruit new members. India needs to be prepared to deal with a potential refugee crisis. This includes strengthening border security to prevent illegal crossing, setting up adequate facilities to accommodate refugees, and coordinating with international agencies to provide humanitarian assistance. Section 6, India's Balancing Act. The political crisis in Bangladesh presents a complex and multifaceted challenge for India. It requires a nuanced and calibrated response that takes into account India's national interests and its commitment to regional stability. India must prioritize its security concerns, particularly along the porous border. This includes strengthening border patrols, intelligence sharing, and cooperation with Bangladeshi authorities to counter transnational threats. At the same time, India must continue to engage with Bangladesh on the economic front, albeit cautiously. It is in India's interest to see a stable and prosperous Bangladesh, and economic cooperation can play a key role in achieving this. Diplomatically, India faces the difficult task of balancing its support for democracy with the need to maintain cordial relations with the de facto government in Bangladesh. Quiet diplomacy and behind-the-scenes engagement will be crucial in persuading the military leadership to pave the way for a return to democratic rule. Section 7, Regional Repercussions. The crisis in Bangladesh has implications not only for India but for the entire South Asian region. It could potentially destabilize the region, which is already grappling with multiple challenges, including poverty, terrorism, and climate change. A spillover of instability from Bangladesh could have a domino effect on neighboring countries, particularly Nepal and Bhutan, which share borders with both India and Bangladesh. It could also embolden anti-India forces in the region who may see an opportunity to exploit the situation. The crisis also has the potential to undermine regional cooperation initiatives, such as the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, which has already been hampered by bilateral tensions. India, as the largest and most influential country in the region, has a critical role to play in preventing the crisis from escalating and containing its regional fallout. It needs to work closely with other regional countries to address shared concerns and promote stability. Section 8, the long view. The current political crisis in Bangladesh is a setback for the country's democratic journey. However, it is important to remember that Bangladesh has a long history of resilience and has overcome similar challenges in the past. The international community must stand by Bangladesh during this difficult time and support its efforts to restore democratic institutions and the rule of law. India, as a close neighbor and friend, has a special responsibility to assist Bangladesh in its hour of need. A stable, democratic, and prosperous Bangladesh is in the interest of not only India but the entire region. It is therefore imperative for all stakeholders to work together to find a peaceful and sustainable solution to the crisis. Section 9, Towards Stability and Cooperation. The political crisis in Bangladesh is a wake-up call for the international community to prioritize efforts to strengthen democratic institutions and promote good governance in fragile states. It also highlights the importance of regional cooperation in addressing shared security and development challenges. India, with its long-standing ties with Bangladesh and its position as a regional power, has a unique opportunity to play a constructive role in facilitating a return to stability and democracy in its eastern neighbor. By pursuing a policy of engagement, diplomacy, and support, India can help Bangladesh navigate this challenging period and emerge stronger and more resilient. The road ahead for Bangladesh will undoubtedly be difficult. However, with the support of its friends and partners, Bangladesh can overcome this crisis and continue its journey towards a more democratic and prosperous future.